If you are an electronic enthusiast and know about IoT, you must have installed any home automation system or any home automation project in your house. But once you installed it, it is really tough to change the code which is dumped on the device. Even if there is an issue with the board from the software part, you have to take out the whole board and reprogram it. What if there are tens of devices installed in your home? You have to take every device out and reprogram it. But what if there is a way to change the code without actually taking the system out of the switchboard? And you could update codes inside hundreds of devices easily without even touching them. So watch this video till the end and I assure you gonna learn something today. Before continuing, make sure to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon to get notified about the videos like this. We are going to learn about OTA updates or over-the-air updates. We are going to implement OTA updates in ESP8266 and ESP32 so that you can update your program directly from the internet into the device. For this process, we need one ESP8266 or ESP32 and our own website to upload the code. You must have your own website. Process of the OTA updates are really easy. We will upload a file of the compiled code on our website. Then the HTTP update library on the ESP will download the code and our ESP will install it. But we will add one more step to control the version number of the code. In each code we will define a version number like 0.1, 0.2, 1.1, etc. Then we will create a JSON file on our website which will consist of latest version and link to that version. It will be like that. The ESP will check the file multiple times a day. If the version on the JSON file which is on the website is greater than the current version, then it will download the code using the link given on the JSON file. Else, it will do nothing. For performing this, we need a home automation device on which we can implement these updates. I designed a PCB using NodeMCU and 4 relays. This PCB includes SMD components, integrated power supply as well. As we are dealing with AC and DC at the same time along with small SMD components, Altium Designer was the best choice for designing this PCB because Altium Designer provides best-in-class features like advanced routing, latest design rule check, 3D visualization, industrial level designing tools, and another good feature from Altium is Altium 365, which allows you to collaborate your project with your team members over the cloud. So you can share files, give them updates, get your whole team involved in your project. Try Altium free for 30 days from the link in the description. So now, once our PCB is designed, we will go to glcpcb.com. Then we will go to the ordering page. We have to click on add Gerber files. Then we have to select the Gerber files which were exported from the Altium Designer software. Wait for the files to be uploaded. Once the files are uploaded, you can check the layers, the dimensions, PCB quantity, and color of the PCB along with PCB thickness, surface finish, etc. Once this is done, you have to click on Save to Cart. Then click on Checkout. Then you have to select your address, then delivery method, whatever you prefer. Then you can submit your order and pay it using PayPal. Fun fact, with over 10 years of experience in PCB manufacturing, GLC PCB has more than 2 lakh customers, over 8,000 online orders of PCB prototyping and small quantity PCB production per day. So here is the PCB which we got from glcpcb.com and designed using Altium Designer software. This PCB looks really awesome. First of all, we have to solder all the small SMD components using a really thin soldering iron. Then we are going to solder all the remaining THT component and complete our PCB as soon as possible. The PCB looks really great. We have our high-link power supply, which is a 3-watt power supply, 4 relays, 2 connector, one for AC in and other for AC out, a Node MCU, and 4 connectors for connecting touch sensors. So here we are with our device, which is connected to our computer. So first of all, we will upload our first code in the Arduino, which will download the OTA updates. Let us take a look at the code. In the code, we have included some libraries which have Arduino JSON, ESP Wi-Fi, ESP HTTP update. This library is really important because we are going to update our code from the hyperlink. So HTTP update library is important. Then we have defined our SSID and password, which in my case is Note 10 Pro and Prashant as password. We have to define a version name, whatever version currently we are running in our device. So our first version will be 0.00. Then the code is relatively simple. We begin the serial monitor, we print our version number, then we set pin mode for pin number 2 as output, and that's it. So then we have connected our device to the internet using the multi-wi-fi.run function. Then this is the basic code. Whenever the core update will be started, this function will run, which will print HTTP update process started. Whenever the update will finish, this function will run. Whenever the update is currently in progress, this function will run, which will say HTTP update process at how many bytes currently are downloaded. Then whenever if any error in between came, then this function will run. We will define a function name as OTA update, which is this function. In this function, we will download our code from the URL given to this function. So we will define here a string named as URL. What we will do is, we will download the firmware from this URL to this client. The firmware will be a bin file which will be uploaded on our website, which the ESP will download itself. If you are confused, you just have to copy this code into your Arduino IDE and run it. It's really easy. First of all, we will check for updates. What we will do is, we will go online and check whether the update is available or not. If the update is available, then we will download it. If the update is not available, then we will not download it. So first of all, what we will do, we will go to this link. This is my website, which is robocircuits.com. So we will go to this website on this upload folder and FM folder, and we will find a JSON file which is named as firmware.json. We will download this file. Then we will extract this file, data from this file, using this function string JSON is equal to, and we will check if the version which is on the JSON file is greater than current version which is running on the device or not. If it is bigger, then it will print new firmware is available, and then it will run the function OT update from the link which is given in the JSON file. If not, then it will say already running on the latest firmware. Let's see. This is our first code, so we will upload it on our device. So in this, we are not using pin high or pin low function. So let's upload it. You can see the serial monitor. It says HTTP update is failed. Let's go to our website. On our website, we have made a firmware.json file in our same folder, which is our FM folder. If you can see on this file, we have our version, which is 0.00, and a link to that version. This will be our file ota.ino.generic file with the bin file, which we will upload it now. So first of all, we have to go to Arduino IDE. Let us change the code a bit. We have now our LED will blink after every 2 seconds. You can see digital write to low, then delay of 2 seconds, then digital write to high, then delay of 2 seconds. Now what we will do is we will change the version number 0.1 and we will save it. After saving, what we have to do, we have to go to Sketch, then we have to click on Export Compiled Binary. When we will click on it, it will compile the code, but it will not upload it on the NodeMCU. Rather, it will create a bin file of it. So let's create a bin file for it. Currently it is compiling. So the compilation is done. Now you can see, now we have to go to the folder where our code is saved, which is right here. Now you can see here we have a new file which is a bin file. Now we have to upload this file to our website on the same address. What we will do is we will drag that file and drop it here. As you can see, now our file is uploaded. When you will go to file manager and reload it, now you can see we have a new file which is ota.ino.generic.bin. Now we have to copy the link for this website and paste it on the link section of our version firmware.json file. Now we will update the firmware as 0.1 because now we have updated the version on the internet. When we will save changes, our Arduino will detect it. Let's open the serial monitor really fast. Oh, sorry. Now you can see it will check the version again. Now you can see here current version is 0.0, but it says new firmware is available and it starts to download the new firmware version. On the device, the light will start to blink really fast. Now you can see the firmware is downloaded. It will reset and run the new code. In the new code, our LED should blink at every 2 seconds. Now you can see our LED is blinking and we have successfully uploaded a new program using internet through OTA updates. Let's install this device in one of our switchboards at our home and see whether we can give it update there or not. So we have quite a lot of stuff installed here. On the exact center we have our device which is connected with 4 outputs. 3 of them are these 3 switches. One of the switch is connected with a ESP32 board. So whenever this switch will be on, the ESP32 will be power up. The second device is connected to the LED cube which is placed right there. And the third is connected with the table lamp. And the fourth is connected with this bulb. These 4 wires are these 3 of them goes to this and 1 goes to this. And the yellow wire which is also on the bulb as well as also on the board is the common wire or the positive wire. In here we have an acrylic sheet. Under the acrylic sheet we have 4 touch buttons. All touch buttons are connected to the input of the board, as you can see. So that is it. Let's try to turn it on. Okay, so we have turned our devices on. As you can see, when I touch the touch switches, a red light came, but these doesn't work at all. And you can see the Node MCU there. Let me zoom it for you. You can see the Node MCU is not connected to any USB cable or something, so program cannot be uploaded on it. What we are going to do is we are going to give an OTA update and write a new code. According to that code, these switches will work to control these devices. Let us go to our computer screens and make a new code. So now I am going to save the changes on the file firmware.json. The ESP8266 will check that file, and if the version number is greater, it will download it. Currently it is running on 0.1, and we have updated a new firmware on the website, which is 0.2. As you can see, the no USB cable is connected. Let me click on save. Okay, the file is saved. Let us see whether our ESP8266 finds the new code or not. It will start to blink its LED while it is downloading the code. Then it will reset itself. Wait for a while. You can see the LED starts to blink. That means it is currently downloading the new code from the internet. That means our process is half successful. Let us wait for a while and let us see what happens. After downloading is complete, it will reset itself. As you can see, the ESP has been resetted. Now let's see whether our buttons work or not. We have 3 buttons here. In the previous part, these were not working. As you can see, the LED cube starts. That means button starts to work. Okay, that stops. Now let's try the second button. As you can see, the ESP32 has a red light. Let us change it. Now it's gone. Let us again turn on. Now the light works. In this way, OTA updates can be done on any of your IoT project. If you have to make any changes, any updation to your code, you can do it directly through website. The ESP will automatically download it. And the best part is, if you have 1000 devices, then all will download the code at the same time without any problem. So that was it for this video. I hope you like it. If you like it, then press the thumbs up button. If you have any questions or anything else to say, then you can ping me in the comment section, or you can directly message me on my Instagram handle, which is @robocircuits. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you like this video, you can share it with your friends or any of your friends group. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day.